what's up, everybody? It's Maisha, admin licensed cosmetologist in the state of New York. I am also a trichologist. Super excited to be here with you today. We are live on Trichology 911 on Facebook. We are live on Instagram, and we are live on YouTube. I want to say what's up and thank you to all my new YouTube subscribers. What's going on? So glad that you found me. And I hope that we can go on this trichology journey together. So if you are somebody who is a new and improving trichologist, I am your very best trichology girlfriend. We are doing some absolutely amazing things over here. And what I have decided to do is really break down what we are doing in trichology as far as how we show up, how we structure things, how we are servicing clients. And so if this is you, if you are like, listen, I did all I could do, I learned all I could learn, but it's not really making sense. The books are not telling me exactly how to apply the information that I got, then this is going to be the place for you to be. So hang out with me. And I got some really good stuff going on. You're going to find that I am really trying to back up and go back to the basics, because what I do understand is when you are a new trichologist, what happens is you're trying to get in the space where you are able to help clients. And when you do that, sometimes you miss some steps. And the reason why I say that is because everything's so fast paced. You're looking at other trichologists and you're trying to compete with them as opposed to giving your clients exactly what they need. You think that what your client wants is what these people are talking about, and no, they're growing with you. And so if you know that your clientele, especially your new trichology clientele, is growing with you, then you want to make sure that you are jumping on with them. Hey, what's going on? I got people. Hey, Jackie. Let me see how you doing. Happy New Year. Yes, send me a text. Hey, who's that? Tanika. Hey, Tanika. What's going on? So let's get into it. So today I really want to help you guys and talk to you about the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule is something not new to the world, but in the way that I have crafted it to help trichologists. Duration over severity is an original thought of mine, and I want to help you to navigate through this so that you are able to help your clients to grow the hair that they're looking for, to help them to stop breakage and, get fuller, thicker, longer hair and all those different things. And so can you hear me? I just want to know if everyone can hear me. I'll turn some stuff down because I just want to make sure that everything is clear. So as soon as someone tells me that they can hear me on Instagram, then we are going to get fully started. We're going to get fully started. All right. But while I'm doing that, let me go to just like this beginning. The beginning is this: products. Can you hear me? Oh, thank you. So products and protocols, right? Products and protocols. And if you're somebody that's like, I need this information, I want to know about the 80-20 rule, I just want you to go grab your little piece of paper, a little pen, something, right? Because geniuses take notes, and we understand that we can hear something, but until we write it down, it is not happening, right? All right, so products and protocols, right? Trichology products are meant to do three things, right? Trichology products are meant to do three things. And this is just a belief of mine. It is something that I definitely have proven for myself, but trichology products are meant to do three things. Number one, to stop hair loss, right? They are intended to stop hair loss. Number two, reduce hair loss, right? And then number three, regrow or reverse, right? So trichology products are meant to do three things: stop hair loss, reduce hair loss, or to regrow or reverse hair loss, right? And so when you are a trichologist and you're looking at trichology products or products that you feel like you will be able to integrate into your systems, you want to look for something. You are always looking for something that stops hair loss, or that reduces hair loss, or that regrows hair or reverses hair loss, right? And not just any kind of hair, right? Because we can get vellus hair, we can get that thin hair, we can get those different things. But most people want thicker strands, they want fuller heads of hair, and they want longer hair, right? So when you're looking at a product as a trichologist, you're looking at ingredients. You're looking at those things that we would necessarily need to make everything cohesive for the client, as far as hair growth and hair restoration and the length of the hair and length retention and all those things. And so for the hair, when we look at the hair, we're looking at products. We're looking at, does our product guarantee match the ingredients? Okay, I know I'm already helping you. Does the product guarantee, right? The promise that they put on the bottle, on the box, the promise that you heard at seminar, are those guarantees matching the ingredients? So they could say all day that, this is an anti-inflammatory product, right? But if there are no anti-inflammatory ingredients, right, then we understand that they can say what they want, but those things are not necessarily true. They're not true. And so the question is, that the guarantee match the ingredients, or is it only a picture that matches the guarantee? What does that look like? You know how they do us at the beauty supply store, because let's be honest, we're still going to the beauty supply store. You know how they do us at the conferences. They have these products and they look amazing, and they have the right marketing, and the pictures are amazing, and they're clear, and they have all these scientific looking diagrams and all that other stuff. But is the picture the only thing that's matching the guarantee? When you take those products, are you able to replicate what they showed you on the bottle? Are you able to use those things to the things that are in the bottle? Are you able to use those things to get the result that they promised on the bottle? Because the truth of the matter is, and I will say it all day, if I could say it once, I could say it twice. Most times, the products that you see, the products that are mainstream, are not made for your clientele. What am I saying? If you look at the grand scheme of things, down to tools, you'll notice that it'll be white males, white females, black males, and then black females. And if you are somebody that is servicing a demographic that is largely a woman of color, a black woman who is experiencing hair loss, you have to think about all these other different types of things that are going to affect the way that her hair grows. It's going to affect the guarantee in the bottle, right? So if you have a product that guarantees that the hair is going to grow in 30 days, when you look at it and it's a shampoo, then you have to already surmise that the product that's in the bottle has to be used every day for 30 days. But if you are servicing a woman of color who is not washing their hair every single day, right, but spending a lot of money on hairstyling, right, then she's never going to get that guarantee out of that bottle. Why? Because if she shampoos her hair every 2 weeks, right, but she needs 30 washes, it's going to take her almost a full year to get 30 washes out of that bottle. And if it takes 30 washes, does that mean, perhaps, this is just me thinking out loud, that the potency that is in the bottle begins to wane because it took her so long to get through the bottle? So there are a lot of different components that would affect the efficacy of what is in the bottle. We're talking about products, but we're talking about the 80-20 rule. And this is going to make sense for you in a minute, right? So wording, smell, packaging does not grow hair, right? It does not grow hair. So we must be able to look past that and find products for the issue at hand, right? We have to be able to do that. So shampoo does not help scarring, right? CCCA. Topical products do not help areata because that's an autoimmune issue. And oils do not address hormonal issues like PCOS. So just because you bought something that works in one area doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work in all areas. And so you have to know what things you can use, how you can use them, and better yet, how to tweak them or to adjust how you're using them to better help the client that you serve, if that makes sense, right? So I hope I'm making sense. Okay, so that being said, now let's get into this 80-20 rule. The thing is, when you look at the 80-20 rule, you also want to look at, when I say 80-20, I mean duration versus or over severity, right? So basically, the duration over severity rule, or the 80-20 rule, is basically that how bad or serious is the client's issue, how long will you be spending with the client, right? That's that duration. But the 80-20 comes in and says, even though I know that this issue is bad, even though I know this issue is very severe, right? What's the thing that I have to address first? Because the client sees 80-20 on their side and we see 80-20 on our side. Well, what are you saying, Maisha? Well, the client sees I don't have any edges, right? So they're looking for edges to be grown back. But you know that the client also has an inflammatory issue. And while I'll be able to address the edges being thinned, I do want to first address the inflammation, because I understand that the inflammation is going to really be like the biggest part of the problem. But I have to address hair loss in a way where the client's perception is affected favorably for what they see. Because then if they start to get like more of an instant gratification, if they're able to see that the hair is growing, if they're able to see that the hair is strengthening, getting longer, filling out, and different things like that, then they're more apt to stay with you and be more consistent, so that you're able to really do the thing that is at hand, and that is get rid of the inflammation and the work from the inside out. The client is 80-20 outside in. They can't see the inflammation. They can't see, the deficiency. They can't see all of those things. But then we can. This is what we're looking at. But we can't necessarily only do what we see. So we have to find a way to balance out addressing the issue that the client sees, as well as us getting to the root cause of what we know the hair loss issue is. Because let's be honest, it doesn't matter how much you know. If the client wants hair, it's like, okay, how are we going to help to rectify a situation where the client is able to get those things that they need, right? While we are doing the things that we need. Hey, Marquita. So when we look at the 80-20 rule, and we look at duration versus severity, you really have to look at the fact that the client is always going to see something and they're going to make that part bigger. And you as the trichologist, you're going to know the root cause of the issue. You're going to know nutrition. You're going to know inflammation. You're going to know autoimmune. They can't see those things. And because they can't see those things, they're frustrated and they don't continue with the program. They don't continue with the products. They don't continue with the regimen that you have provided, because they don't see a result. Although you know it's working from the inside out, they need to see something outside in, right? So while we I'm gonna go back to that, right? 80-20. But this is one of the things that I was thinking about. Androgenetic alopecia and iron deficiency, right? Right. Just go with me, right? Because we in our trichology bag, right? Androgenetic alopecia and iron deficiency are both common in women, right? Both common in women. Hey, Linda. And the two are not infrequently, or they're not rare to occur together. So sometimes, well, a lot of times, if you see a woman who has androgenetic alopecia, she may also be experiencing iron deficiency. And it's not infrequent that they would experience both at the same time. Thank you. I look like Sideshow Bob, child. Right? It's possible that the telogen effluvium from the iron deficiency may unmask the androgenetic alopecia. This is why I always say you never ever see, for me, I never ever see one type of hair loss. I never see one type of hair loss. Whether it's a person that has traction alopecia and they actually earned traction alopecia because they were trying to cover up CCCA, I never see a person with one type of hair loss. So a person that may have telogen effluvium, right, because of their iron deficiency, may experience an unmasking of androgenetic alopecia, meaning that it will accelerate it. For example, postpartum women. A lot of times, it's like, oh my gosh, I had this baby and they just took my hair out. I don't know what's going on, right? I keep looking down because I got notes. But it's like, what you'll see is that the client will start to see, in a postpartum woman, she'll start to see androgenetic alopecia because telogen effluvium, perhaps due to iron deficiency when she's pregnant, or just different hormonal changes will start to unmask the androgenetic alopecia. And it looks like, oh, the logical answer is, oh, child, I had a girl and she done took my beauty. Or I had this boy and he was rough on my body. But the truth of the matter is that it is not infrequent. It is not rare for two things to be happening at once. So now let's bring that back around to your 80-20, right? The client is seeing this massive shedding. They're seeing, oh my gosh, it's like I'm thinner in here and I don't know how to cover it, right? What are you going to do? What are you going to address first? You being the trichologist, understanding that, okay, there's iron deficiency there, understanding that there's a hormonal imbalance there. They don't know nothing about that. They just know that my edges are thin and my hair is getting thinner. So how are you going to address that, right? Their 80 is the visible. And your 80 is the internal, right? How do you address that? What do you do? You have to actually do a balance. There's a balance of what the client will see and what you know. So my trade-off is going to be that I'm going to do treatments that are going to address the edges. I'm going to do things that's going to address the strengthening of the hair so the client can get that. But I'm also going to go ahead and we don't prescribe, right? But I'm going to prescribe some things that the client is able to do nutritionally and things that they'll be able to get only in clinic that will help them with the strength of the hair, with the internal part, and with the whole I'm like lost for words, but the whole internal part. That's the thing that I'm going to do. Because as a trichologist, especially when clients are looking at you as, especially if you've already done their hair, they're looking at you as their hairstylist and they like, girl, put some of that conditioner on my hair. They don't understand the transition is that, right, you're doing the internal work. So you're doing that and you have things that are able to go deeper, right? So while there may be something that they could put on the hair, there may be something that they could put on the scalp. There has to be something that they can do internal, right? So that's cleansing the gut. that is looking at nutrition, that is looking at blood type, all those different types of things, being able to look at the blood work, reading those levels, looking at different tests to know what exactly to pinpoint. Because until you're doing that, you are just, it's like, listen, I'm throwing everything I got to the wall, and whatever sticks, sticks. But then you don't have a plan. You don't have a plan, right? So let me see. I had something else. Oh, another thing is when you look at the fact that, hey, Nikki, when you look at the fact that there is an 80-20 rule, the clients have an 80-20 and a trichologist has an 80-20. So, again, that trichologist, they're looking at internal, they're looking at what is the root cause, they're looking at what's underneath it, right? But then you have the client who's like, okay, my 80-20 is this. I hear all that you're saying, and then, yeah, I don't eat that well, and I'm not getting that much sleep, and I'm not drinking that much water, but what about these edges, right? What about these things that I'm experiencing physically? Right? What about these things, right? You have clients that have psychogenic issues. What? They have psychogenic issues. They're having a psychological origin rather than a physical, which means stress, worry, anxiety, right? You have clients that have that. So what are you doing with that? Are you in contact, or you working with someone like therapists? Like I have like therapists that I have I'm in network with. I have like different types of medical professionals, right? So you're looking at clients that it may not be that they brushing their hair too hard and different things like that, but the psychogenic part of it, right? That psychogenic part of it is speaking. So when you look at an 80-20 rule, right, and you look at how you are helping the client, how have you changed the atmosphere in your clinic to be able to even address psychogenic? See, it's more than just the hair. It's more than just hair loss, right? And now you're looking at, like, when I come into my space, is it peaceful? Is it something? The key is in my pocket, my coat pocket. My coat pocket is on the bed. You're looking at, is it peaceful in here? How does it smell in here? What is the vibe in here? Is stuff all over the place, right? So you have to look at those things. And when you look at the 80-20 from the perspective of the client, right, then you know how to really deal with things from the perspective of the client. I remember one time I was saying to another professional, and I guess like I don't know, because he I don't know, maybe he was like real special or just greater. I don't know. He was just kind of like, well, the clients don't tell me what to do. I tell the clients what to do. And listen, that's true. You're the professional, right? And that's awesome. But when you look at it, you have to do what makes sense for the client. So I had to really rebuttal that and let this man know that, yeah, I understand that I'm in the power position when they come into my clinic, but at the same time, if it doesn't make sense for their lifestyle, they're not going to do it. So whatever they see as important, whatever they see as the thing that is gonna the thing that's bothering them the most, that's what they're looking at, right? So helping the client from their perspective is going to be a big deal. Looking at something that you can do to help them to get an instant gratification, if there's such a thing in trichology. They have to be able to get something. Your clients come in and say, girl, I don't know what you did last week, but my hair feels stronger already. And you don't see nothing. Okay, come on, y'all. You'll be like, child, thank God she think, thank God she, or they say, I comb my hair and it's not shedding as much, and it just feels stronger. My scalp feels better, and all those different things. It's like, okay, that's good, right? So that's giving them what they need to continue. And then what we have to gain as trichologists is the importance of knowing what's most important. What is most important? Is it going to be what you know and what you push on the client? Or is it going to be what you know and how to accommodate the client that you're helping? Because you have some really level-headed, unemotional hair loss clients, hair restoration clients that are like, listen, whatever you got to do, I understand. I waited a long time. I'm not eating properly. I'm not doing blase blah. And whatever you say to do, I'll do. And then you got that other person that comes in and say, when mama used to do my hair was to the middle of my back, and I was a cheerleader, and I was a size 2, and my hair could just grow, and they giving you all this stuff. And you like, miss, you 78. And mama used to put grease and water on my hair, and that's it. And my hair would just grow, and the growing hands, and the this and the that. And you're like, okay, and I need my hair back in 2 weeks because my high school reunion is coming. So what do you do for those clients? You have to understand 80-20. You have to understand there's no such thing as balance. It's whatever is important at the time. And so I really want you to start to get into what you need as far as how you're able to maneuver to give the client what they need while doing what you need to do. Right? It's kind of like when I used to braid my baby's hair. If she saw the comb, it was like she's crying and she's trying to grab her head and she's trying to look around and she want to see what you're doing and she's snatching her head. So I had to give her a comb. So she felt like I didn't have the comb so that I can do the thing that I needed to do, right? So it's the same thing. I want you to start to look at the fact that everything is not going to be that physical manipulation, and it's not always going to be those things that are only internal as far as okay, it's iron deficiency and stuff like that. You also want to look at the fact that there are psychogenic issues. There are things that have an origin of a psychological standpoint rather than a physical one. And the sooner that we do that, the sooner that we'll be able to help our clients in a better capacity, right? So 80-20 is, client favorable, the things that they see, 20% what you know. But on our end is the 80% what we know and 20% what the client sees. But the truth of the matter is, if you're going to get people in and you're going to be able to help them, right, you're gonna have to do some compromise, not in the integrity of what you offer, but compromise in making sure that you are still looking at, what this client needs to be encouraged in what they see, how their hair is growing, how it's being strengthened, how you're doing different things. And that might take a few cosmetology skills, and it might take a few strategies that you can put together, but you want to make sure that you are looking at both sides of the spectrum when it comes to helping clients. And then I'll say this: if there's something like, if you do something like traction alopecia, right? Traction alopecia, you'll look at it, you'll say, 4 to 6 weeks, right? So that would be like a scratching the surface kind of thing, right? But then when you get to a breakthrough, it'll be something like a CCCA, right? It is 12 weeks, perhaps, right? I'm just giving, just numbers. And then you'll have something that may be a little more severe or a more accelerated CCCA plus some other deficiencies. And that may take 12 plus weeks, but that's going to help you to constitute consistent growth. And so when you look at duration versus severity, or duration over severity, how long are you staying with the client to rectify an issue if you can? That's going to be big, right? How long you're going to be with that client. And then guess what? Because most clients don't have just one hair loss issue, then you may have to break down the different issues and say, okay, let me do this right here, because I know if I do this, she'll see results in 2 weeks. She'll see results in 4 to 6 weeks while I'm working on this other thing. So don't always like go for, I'm the professional, I'm the trichologist, I'm gonna do this thing because it's the biggest one. It takes 12 weeks for her to even see any results, right? You have to kind of do things in tandem. So that's really, really big. Also, just to remind you that when we're looking at products as a trichologist, we are looking at the fact that trichology products, I don't care if you listen to all the messaging, they are meant, I didn't say they do, but they are meant to do 3 things. That's either stop hair loss, reduce hair loss, or regrow, right? So, and they don't, not just any kind of hair. Most people want thicker, fuller, longer hair, right? So when you're looking at your products, when you're looking at the things that you're trying to use, and you're putting together your stuff, right? You want to make sure that you're looking at the fact that it's not just the smell and the packaging, but you have to understand that the guarantee has to match the result. There's no way that a client that only shampoos their hair twice every other week, right, or every 2 weeks, is going to get the result out of a bottle that says that they need 30 shampoos consistent. Like, I need 30 days, not 30 just random days, 30 days. So just look at your stuff, all that other stuff. Okay. So that's that for today. I hope I helped you. I really want you to look at duration, severity, the 80-20. I want you to look at your products and really just kind of do an inventory over the things that you have seen. Hey, guess what? On Monday, January 15th is my birthday. I will be doing a strategy. It's going to be a group strategy, and I'm going to let you pick the price. All of them are going to end with 45 or have a 45 in it, because I'm going to be 45. Right. Sideshow Bob is going to be 45. So what does that mean? You can pay $4.50 for the class. You could pay $45 for the class. You could pay $450 for the class, whatever you feel like paying. But I just want you to hang out with me. It is going to be private. It will probably be on Zoom, and I will be going over strategies that we can use for the rest of the year. So next Monday, January 15th, is my birthday, and I want you to hang out with me. The information will be up soon, and yeah. Pick your price, however much you want to pay. It's all good, but just come in. We're going to spend an hour. I want you to get your questions together, where you need help with strategy. Happy hair growing.